Now, I think we're speaking of his dream as being that of inclusion. The statement he made about his little girls walking hand in hand with others. There's a lot to be done for that yet, and I think though a lot has been accomplished, there's a lot to be accomplished. I think that the most important thing is for people to be able to listen and understand others. Just because somebody looked different from me doesn't mean that they are wrong about everything. That's what we need to be working on now. Not only in Arlington, but all over the country, we find people are too quick to criticize another because they don't agree with a particular view. They might agree with everything else, but I just don't like the color shoes he wears, so I don't like him. That's how we need to further that dream of inclusion. Arlington's no different than the rest of the world. Arlington has probably done better than most cities its size, but there's still some things that can be done. I still notice our parks, and I see too much of this separatism in the parks. I don't do it anymore, but I used to every major holiday drive around and look at the major parks. And it always amused me to see one ethnic group in this corner, one in that corner, and one in that corner doing their own things. It's great that each has a place to do their own thing. But then I've always wondered, why can't your thing be my thing? And I think that's how we can improve upon the person-to-person relationships. The same way that it works anywhere else, Arlington as a city did not seem to be reaching out to all of its citizens as much as I thought they should, or as much as Dr. King envisioned that they would. There were certain things that could be done, and I think we have done, to improve upon that. Employment with the city, for one thing. There was a time when you could count people of color who worked for the city of Arlington, and even easier to count citizens who were involved on boards or commissions. I think when I took office, there were about 3. And there had never been more than that 3. By the time I left office, and it all wasn't my doings. I don't take credit for it, but it just happened. But by the time I left office, the number of minorities on boards and commissions was approximately the same percentage as the population. This is a step toward accomplishing that dream of all inclusion. Arlington has done an excellent job of commemorating Dr. King's birthday. I think we boast that it's the largest celebration of its kind in the nation. I think it's true. And we seem to be reaching everybody, even down to the fact that the kids who like to do step shows are involved now. See, you'd never get my interest in a step show, but they don't be interested in a speech at a banquet. So we're trying to reach everybody, and I think that's commendable. That's the way to include them. And while it's more than just a celebration, we don't want them to forget the reason we're doing it. the why we're doing it. We don't want to become part of the conversation nationwide that is preaching and teaching so much hate. We don't want to become a part of a nation that hate everybody, but we want to cultivate love, cultivate tolerance, and be able to get along one with the other.